up a little loud, I know. But I'll turn it down. It's Funky Friday on the Morning Night Live. And welcome to the show. It's Friday. Weekend's coming. I got another weekend where I'm going to do some ice fishing before the stuff melts. And again, this is the only second time since I've moved to Minnesota that I've done any ice fishing. Because, I'm not that big a fishing person. Wow, that's still up pretty loud, isn't it? Anyway, I got to turn it down anyway because it's Open Mic Friday on the Morning Night Live. Well, I'll just let this one go out because, I kind of like it. So today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. At least I'm going to talk about that. Now, y'all can talk about whatever you want because it's a Open Mic Friday. Okay? Open Mic Friday. But I'm going to talk about Jussie Smollet. As you know, one of my favorite topics over the last couple of years. Finally was sentenced yesterday. And I got a question. Was the sentence fair? And that's all I want to know. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. All right, stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the PDawgKnight Channel on this happy Friday, the 11th of March, 2022. I am so happy that you're here. I am happy that I'm here because every day that I wake up is another good day. Now, I got, what the hell's going on here? I'm getting this not experiencing enough stuff thing. Hang on, let me check my video output. And it got changed again. Look at that. This thing drives me insane. It really does. It really annoys the hell out of me. I gotta tell you, I wonder if I can fix that. Is there a way to fix that? I wonder if I can fix that and come back in. Well, we're just gonna have to deal with the day. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about Jussie Smollet. If you haven't heard the news, he was sentenced yesterday. And on this channel, it used to be every Wednesday I would talk about Jussie because there was just so much news out there about him. And so I had to designate it to a single day. But because I missed... Wait, what today's not... It is Friday, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so... because his sentencing hearing was yesterday. And, usually a sentencing hearing doesn't take very long. And for some reason, this particular sentencing hearing did. And it was like hours and hours and hours long. The defense, because he was convicted. Okay, he was convicted by a jury of his peers, but unanimously convicted of the crime of what they had for him. And it's a class 4 felony in Illinois. I mean, it's not like it's, oh shoot, did that work? Yes, it did. Okay, good. It's not like it's, it's still a low class felony, but I think the judge had reasons to do what he did. Now, if you're not sure what happened, he was convicted of there were 6 charges. He was convicted of 5. And at no point in the trial did he ever just say, I did that shit. He didn't say, he still to this day is proclaiming his innocence. We'll get into that in a minute. But so the judge, in the end, the sentence was 150 days In the Cook County Jail. Now, the Cook County Jail is not a friendly place, but most jails are not. And, but he also has, I think, 30 months of probation. So apparently part of that probation, well, you know what? Maybe we should just let the judge tell you. Should we do that? Because it's fascinating. Now, it's about 5 minutes of him talking, but it's worth it. Now, there were many motions, right? There's a whole bunch of motions by the defense to get it dismissed, not to have any jail time, this and that. He got letters from Jesse Jackson and Samuel L. Jackson's wife and all these people. I mean, it went on for hours. And then the prosecution team went and rebutted them, and then the defense team came back and tried to find reasons not to have him have any jail time. It was really, really strange. I gotta tell you. Let me unpin this message real quick because I gotta say good morning to the troops. So before we do that, as I always do, I like to say good morning to everybody. First in the chat this morning today was our good friend Advocatus Diabli. Thank you for being here. Oh, there we go. Thank you for being here. I don't know why this thing does this. Maybe I should move this so I can. For whatever reason, I can't get this thing to be cooperative. All right, and then also good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg. Good morning, Rotten Corpse. Nice to have you. It is Funky Friday. You are correct, sir. Also, good morning to Aaron Meredith. What's up? Renee Mayette, how you doing? Oh, you know what? Here, I got to do a couple things. I want to make. Anyway, I got to make. I'm going to fix something here. Also, good morning to Sydney Oberg. Nice to see you, my friend. Good. Hello. Also, good morning to, what else do I got here? I got Selected Boys in the house. Yeah, nice to have you. Fight for our rights. What the hell happened there? Okay, wait. No, stop doing this. Gosh, this thing drives me nuts. All right, we're going to do that. Got to do that. Okay, we're good. Good morning. Fight for our right. Hello, Tyre Alexander. What's happening? Somnambule Nation, lurking and working. Work hard. Don't get distracted. Don't move any heavy equipment. Tex AG's in the house. Jonathan Peterson. Always lost and nothing else. We like to call alone. Also, good morning to K Show. Attack Alpaca. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down. HP Lovecraft. Nice to have you back. Good morning, D.I. Freighter Watcher. Hello to Caitlin James. Nice to see you. Maddie's in the house. A little trucker salute for Maddie and Ronan. Also, good morning, James Colley. Good morning. Why are you so angry? That's a name, not a question. Good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies here. Good morning also to Jesse Leon. Cougar Knife, welcome. Simic Magic, and then also Overthought, which could be Rotten Corpse. I'm not sure. I see that Avi, and I'm going, who is Overthought? Welcome to the show. So let's first, we're going to take some time to listen to the judge here, or watch the judge. And it's just about 5 minutes, and then we'll get into whether you think the sentence was fair. Was it overly? Was it harsh? Was it lenient? Was it about right? Or do you think Jussie is innocent? And there are people who think Jussie Smollet is innocent, which, well, I don't quite understand, and I will certainly be open to listen to why, in God's name, you might think he's innocent. Of course, now, before I start this, though, there is a fascinating element to this. So this trial could have been televised, but the defense team did not want it televised. But they did want the sentencing televised, which the judge obliged them. Now, and I think that maybe because I think the defense team knew that they were treading on very, very thin ice, unlike the ice that I will be on in this weekend, and knows that if just the visual of some of the things that they were going to try to pull the wool over people's eyes as far as what was going on in this case, would have made them look really, really bad. So if it's not televised, not as many people are going to see it. They just read about it. Most people don't read past the first couple lines in a newspaper article or a little synopsis online. So they will be able to keep whatever opinions they have, and then they'll shoot. What am I talking about? They will be able to keep their own opinion because they don't have to read it. They already have their opinion formed. But if you have to watch it and there's clips of it all over the internet, you actually have to see some of the BS that was coming out of these people's mouths, then you're like, it's hard to argue that. So, but when you get to the sentencing here, oh my gosh, the performance the defense team put on, and we'd watch it all together, but it was so long. It was so long, and it was just, and the drama at the end was amazing. So anyway, let's watch the actual sentencing by the judge. And I don't remember the judge's name. I don't know if it's that important for me to tell you what the wrong one. Let's use let's go YouTube video. There we go. Let's watch the actual sentencing. I think it's important to go hear the judge's reasoning behind the sentencing. And then we can kind of talk about what you think as far as whether or not you think it was fair, unfair, whatever you think there. So let's watch the sentencing or listen to it. I see James Cowley in the green room. It is an open mic show. The link to the open mic, it will pop up on the screen every once in a while. In fact, let me do this. I'll repin it to the top too, just so that it's easier to find. If I can find my name there we go. There we go. The green room link will be pinned at the top of the chat too, so to make it easier for you. All right, let's talk about the judge. Let's do the judge here. All right, here we go. And I'm skipping the first part, the intro by the news station, and I may add a comment here and there, so we'll see how this goes. There it is.
Probationable. But we have some real serious aggravating factors here.
Oh, hang on.
Your premeditation.
Let's try there.
Convicted of a Class 4 felony.
Okay.
It's presumptively probationable, but we have some real serious aggravating factors here.
So he's saying it could.
Your premeditation.
It is something.
I'm
sorry, I'm talking over it already. He's saying that you've been convicted of a Class 4 felony. The sentencing guidelines say it could be probational, and we have to figure out all the factors on sentencing and blah 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 blah.
The pain you've caused to real victims of hate crimes, which I have described, the damage you've done to the city of Chicago, I've heard. It's been talked about. I'm mindful of the city's request for restitution. And if I'm going to fashion
the city wants some of their money back.
That request, I have to fashion the sentence accordingly. And above all, the capper of all cappers, your performance on the witness stand. This could only be described as pure perjury. You got on the witness stand.
Now that's
you didn't have to.
Him saying that. Whoo boy, that's huge. That could be another issue if his lawyers decide. I mean, they're already formulating their appeal, which is silly. It's a 150-day sentence, and it'd take longer for them to do an appeal, I think, than 150 days. But anyway, let me keep going here. Oh, hang on. Thank you, Mr. Lone, for the most patriotic. Hang on a second. I'm going to make this. I'm going to clue this. The most patriotic donation ever in the history of the world, the 1776 donation. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Mr. Lone, who says, clearly, it was a kangaroo court. I see what you did there. We was kangaroos and shit. A great day for Jussie, and therefore the rest of the world. Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for sponsoring the show. I greatly appreciate you, Mr. Lone, for the very generous And most patriotic donation possible, the 1776. Thank you very much. All right, let's keep going here.
You certainly have a right to, but you committed hour upon hour upon hour of pure perjury. And I find all those to be ample factors.
Damn.
If this court were to
He said
decide
perjury.
that the things you did, that any kind of probationary sentence would deprecate the seriousness of the offense and you need to go to the penitentiary, the record is clear and it would support it.
Oh boy, he said it would support sending you to the penitentiary.
But I'm looking at everything in its totality. And I agree. It's told to me today, you can't judge everybody by one bad thing they've done in their life. I don't know if it's the only bad thing, but it's the only bad thing that I'm concerned about now. And that you do have quite a record of real community service and quite a record of attaching with people. There is a lot of mitigation in this case as well.
Okay, there's mitigating factors,
and I'm mindful of the pleas of mercy, particularly from people that are in the arena of dealing with social justice issues, that are fighting.
Yeah, these are the letters he got.
Fighting, not playing around, not doing games like you were doing, but seriously fighting.
Not doing games like you're doing. Now look at this guy. This guy, he sees right from the beginning, this is probably not going well. He is not excited about what the judge is saying so far, and she looks like she's about to throw up. But his defense team was huge, by the way.
For matters involving hate crimes of all sorts. And they're asking you for mercy as well.
Hello, Cam. How you doing, brother?
I'm trying to consider who you are as a person, how you got here, how somehow you strayed away from your family values.
Yes, he did.
Dark,
hello.
Narcissistic.
Oh, hold up. No man's in the house.
Stop. Hammer time.
And also, good morning, Ebony Williams. How you doing, friends? Nice to have you all here.
Selfish and arrogant side come out, and you persisted with it for years on this case. I'm fashioning the following sentence, and here's your sentence. I'm sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court.
Yes.
You're going to be allowed to travel
now,
wherever you want.
When I first heard that, I'm like, oh, here we go. It's all going to be probation. It's all going to be probation. Anyway.
To live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some
so
things
he's let
you do,
it have
you
probation,
may have to go to,
but be able to travel still
places in New
within
York,
the
Los
United
Angeles.
States.
You can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago, the amount of $120,106.
That's a very specific amount.
You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine, and you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail.
Bam!
And that will start today, right here.
Ow! Ow! Oh! So the first 150 days of this, they say how many months? 30 months of probation? It's going to be in the Cook County Jail.
Mr. Smollett, though the jury found you guilty and I've sentenced you as I have, you have the right to appeal the findings and rulings of the court or ask your sentence to be modified. To do those things, you need to file a notice of appeal in writing within 30 days. You may also file a motion to modify your sentence, which would have to be filed in writing within 30 days. Anything not stated in those filings are waived for purposes of appeal. You cannot afford lawyers or transcripts. They would be provided free of charge. Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal.
Now. If you didn't hear what he said, because he's going to say it again, but I'm going to tell you what he said. And this obviously was something that he has rehearsed when you see how he does this, okay? Oh, by the way, I didn't even say it. Mr. Alone, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you very much. Oh, well, everyone got excited about that one. There we go. All right, thank you. Okay, so he says, first of all, well, here, I'm running it back a little bit. Let me run it back just a little bit. Let me get back just a little bit. He asked me, you got something to say?
I'd just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal.
I'd like to say, Your Honor, I am not suicidal. Now, that's fascinating. And I'm pretty sure, see, he's just playing this up for the people back at home. I am not suicidal. That's what I'd like to say.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent. and I am not suicidal.
And
If I
now look at her. Wait, hold up. Let's go back a little bit because she is. Watch the attorney next to him, on to his left, our right. She is very uncomfortable here.
I'm not suicidal.
She is very uncomfortable.
I am not
Oh.
suicidal. I am innocent.
It's like, she's like, shut up, shut
If
up.
I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this, and I am not.
Now, the evidence was incredibly overwhelming. They had video of these knuckleheads rehearsing this crime. He wrote them a check. He gave them cash to go buy the items that they were supposed to use for this crime. They had the noose, which was a cheap the noose that was a cheap clothesline that you can buy at any hardware store that was still had the folds in it. During the trial, when a car came and the two guys ran, they didn't even put the thing around his neck. He put the clothesline around his neck himself and then walked into his apartment building wearing the clothesline like a necktie. And then he tightened it up as the police were coming in with their body cams. And that's when the officer's like, you want to... You maybe want to take that off? Well, I left it on so you could see it, right? Get the... Please. Just saying. So anyway, hang on. No, and he's very... Now this is clearly... This whole reaction here is all rehearsed. He planned this because he knew he was going to be guilty.
Community, Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal.
Yes, you did.
And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
So he's playing up some Sandra Bland shit right there, right? Or I wouldn't say Jeffrey Epstein. Although now, here's what I got to worry about. You got to remember now, this dude. Remember, he's kind of friends with the Obamas, who are kind of tight with the Clinton. Well, sort of. Well, they were around when the Clintons were around. I wonder if he's worried about getting Arkansas-ed, but I don't know why. What would he know about them? So, but no, he's playing up the Sandra Bland angle for the activists, okay? And and I really just hope he serves out a sentence and then goes back into normal life. Now, some other stuff the judge said. I didn't give the whole judge speech. It was 20 minutes long, and I didn't want to go into it. But the judge was also saying, "Oh, you've already ruined your life, and you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that. This is not going to hurt him financially at all. The second he gets out of jail, some Hollywood knucklehead is going to hire him for something. Okay, he may not make as much as he did at first, but he's going to be able to milk this forever. I'm pretty sure. Who should be really mad? There's some people who should be just pissed off about this fellow. One, Robin. What's her name? Is it Robin Givens? Not Robin Givens. Robin Roberts. Robin Roberts from the Today Show. She should be mad as hell right now because this knucklehead pulled that mess on her, pulled that interview. She looks like a dumbass now. And not because of anything she did, except for listen to him a little too earnestly and not ask any questions about this crazy nonsense. Good morning, Dad of Wasteland. How you doing? So anyway.
I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay.
Let me
are there any full sentencing
Motions you care to present right now?
There's the sisters back there.
Yes, Ms. Widow.
The defense would wish to present a motion to reconsider sentence
All right.
and file it in stanter.
All right. It is
They want to they're doing their motion to reconsider the sentence and listen to the judge.
Timely filed.
Thank you, Judge.
And let me say, I've obviously considered the sentence at great length, and it's timely filed, so it's preserved for purposes of appeal. Motion to reconsider sentence is respectfully denied.
Denied!
I am not suicidal. I am not.
Wait, he yells, "I am not suicidal." I'm trying to figure out what whoever that woman said. Let's see if we can figure out what that woman said, because he's walking out and yelling, "I am not suicidal." What does this woman say?
Consider sentence is respectfully denied.
I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal.
Stop something. Now, this is interesting too. So this is this has a little bit of wealthy man's privilege here, because normally when they take someone to custody like this, they immediately put them in handcuffs, and for whatever reason they did not do that in this case. And this whole thing reeks of, they always want to talk about privilege. This motherfucker, this dude has so much. He's grown up in this acting family. They're wealthy. They had all kinds of money. They all, he was a child actor. His sister's a child actor. Came up the Disney nonsense. They all, they're a tight-knit family, mother and father. This dude, I'm sorry. There's so many things that would happen. He had like 9 different character witnesses for him, and people asking for his leniency and shit. And it's crazy that this happened. And but it's because he's a wealthy man. And his defense team, like there was like 9 or 10 lawyers. I can't remember how many lawyers he had. But the facts of this case were so obvious, and the story was just dumb from the beginning. And so that's my opinion. Now, the question of the day is, was the sentence too much? And as I go onto Twitter, and I see there's people out here defending this idiot. There are actually people defending Jussie Smollet. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, where is this? Hang on a second. I'm gonna go into the trending tab here on Twitter. Now, it's funny because I didn't see this earlier, but it finally started trending. So here we go. Here's how it's trending on Twitter. Okay, they got their little thing up here saying actor Jussie Smollet has been sentenced to 150 days in jail and 30 months of probation. He has been fined $25,000 in order to pay $120,106 in restitution. They didn't put the whole thing, for lying to police about being the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. Judge James Lynn handed down the following sentence, blah, 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 blah. And there's a lot of people talking about it. Now, Benny Johnson, Jussie Smollett is going to jail. Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. Michael Avenatti is going to jail. Donald Trump is a free man. CNN is being sold for parts. Nick Sandmann is a multimillionaire. Perhaps there is hope for America yet. But there are a couple things here. There's some interesting things going on here. Like, here's some of the tweets back when the attack happened, right? Kamala Harris. Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for a quick recovery. Remember, because he was in the hospital because he had a scratch on his face, but the hospital found nothing. He had no physical harm done to him other than the scratch on his face. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality and color of their skin. We must confront this hate. Now, if this were a real crime, she's right. She's 100% right if this actually happened. 100%. I would not have a problem with a word she said if this actually happened. But it was so obvious from the moment I read the first account of this. I'm like, that's bullshit. Tell me something that didn't happen, right? So, and then Bernie Sanders, the racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollet is a horrific incident of surging hostility towards minorities around the country. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. Joe Biden, what happened today to Jussie Smollet must never be tolerated in this country. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor, that homophobia and racism have no place in our streets or in our hearts. We are with you, Jussie. If it was real, yeah, but it was so obvious from the beginning it wasn't real. And there's more here. It'll be in the, you can find this. This is not something, I need to read all of these. But there's people out here. Oh, Terrence. If y'all know Terrence Williams, and he's a goofy little dude, but that's 3 minutes long. Maybe I'll leave a link to that one. I'll leave a link to that one up in the links today. Here we go. Let's see, new tab. Right there. We'll have Terrence Williams' little video link to you. Let me make sure that works. I don't make sure the volume's not on. Good Lord. Oh, I forgot. I'm running too many things on the internet right now, so it'll take a while. But anyway, now. And here's the current head of the Department of Justice in the United States of America, who at the time said, to be clear, this is a bad move. This talking about them investigating Jussie, just investigating him. To be clear, this is a bad move by the Chicago Police Department. This is not how you treat a survivor of a hate crime. Stop demonizing survivors and casting doubt on their claims. If you want communities to trust that you will take #hate crimes seriously, stop hate project. Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Dropping a deuce in the tip jar. I think that's a funny thing to say every time I say it. Who says the deputy at the jail had to tell Jussie Smollet to please stop dropping the soap because he's making other inmates uncomfortable.
That's right.
Okay, you are allowed to have your drop the soap joke. I generally will avoid this drop the soap jokes because I just think it's, well, I don't know. It is kind of funny, but okay. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show, as you often do. Thank you, sir. And also, thank you to Maddie, who also sponsors the show right now, who says, so basically, if you are a black man that fabricated a hate crime, you can lie, be convicted, and people will ignore all that to defend you because you're black. As Scribe Light would say, a little dramatic pause here. Got it. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was my acting debut. All right, back to some of these tweets though, because there are people who are defending this asshole. But this is Jesse Jackson sticking up for Jussie Smollet should tell you everything you need to know about the race grievance industry. Well, maybe. I mean, he was convicted. Okay, here's what Jesse Jackson did. Jesse Jackson did write one of the letters in his support, and but it was important. It was, at least he didn't say in his letter, he was asking for leniency, not for him to be not sentenced. You know what I mean? Asking for leniency, probably try to keep him out of prison. Because the maximum prison sentence the prison sentence recommendation was 1 to 3 years, not 150 days. Although there were mitigating stances that could have called for probation. The judge decided to do a kind of a combination: probation with the first 150 days of his 30-month probation in the Cook County Jail. But yeah, come on, Jesse. There's two, Jesse and Jussie. Now let me scroll down though, because there's some people down here who are very, very upset about him being sentenced for jail time. And one of them, let me see if I can find. Here's one of them. Jussie Smollet received more time than George Zimmerman and nearly everyone who tried to overthrow the government on January 6th. Where's my X to doubt? First of all, George Zimmerman was not convicted. He was acquitted. And so you don't usually sentence people who are acquitted. Also, nobody tried to overthrow the government on January 6th. Thanks for playing. There was a riot, and they did try to get the Congress to hold off until they could investigate some of the other what they call circumspect. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? That's not the word I want. Anyway, for the they wanted to have them check out those vote counts in those states that seemed a little bit fishy to them. I'm not saying they were fishy. YouTube, I am not saying they were fishy. I'm saying they thought they were fishy, and they thought that it was important to postpone the certification to do some investigating. Okay, that was their plan, and a lot of people just ride it because they're idiots. So anyway, but if you're having a bad day, just remember Jussie Smollet and Michael Avenatti are in jail today. Well, there you go. Scoon TV, Curtis Scoon, Jussie Smollet escaping serious time, filing false police reports, wasting time and taxpayers' money. Let you or I try that shit. Yeah, I'm saying. But there are people, though. Oh, my goodness. Oh, notice how Robin Roberts was not on Good Morning America today for the day after Jussie Smollett was sentenced to prison for faking a hate crime. Let's see what they said on Good Morning America, because they're the ones who had the big interview. Remember that? It was Good Morning America, not the Today Show, by the way. Let's see what let's check out their...
Now, former Empire star Jussie Smollett is waking up behind bars after being sentenced for staging a hate crime. Alex Perez is in Chicago with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Yes.
Hey, good morning. Michael Smollett had a number of high-profile names defend his character in court, but none of it was enough to sway the judge, who called him a narcissist and a liar who staged the attack to become more famous.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent.
Yeah.
I could have said that I was guilty.
I'm sorry, you are guilty. He said, I would have said I was guilty a long time ago. Well, no, because you keep pretending that you didn't happen the way it happened that we saw on. They had video of you rehearsing the crime, you moron.
This morning, former Empire actor Jussie Smollet is waking up in Chicago's Cook County Jail. Smollet defiant as he was taken into custody after being sentenced to 30 months of felony probation, ordered to pay restitution of more than $120,000 to the city and a
$120,106 to be exact.
$1,000 fine. He'll spend the first 150 days of his sentence in jail, all stemming from his conviction in December on 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct for lying to Chicago police about an alleged attack back in 2019.
If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community.
That's exactly what you did. You stuck your fist in their fears, hoping to get some clout and more publicity and maybe get a few more dollars on your show. That's exactly what you did, and you know you did that.
Before handing down the sentence, the judge calling Smollett's actions shameful, saying his extreme premeditation, paying 2 brothers to shout racist and homophobic slurs, pour bleach on him, and put a noose around his neck.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's a friggin' clothesline. It's a clothesline that you buy in a grocery store. That is not a noose. It's just some cheap rope that they bought. Oh my gosh. Perjury is a crime. Zach, good morning, by the way. And the judge said the word perjury twice during his sentencing and said that is a possibility that could come back to him too. So I'm curious if they doth protest too much for this 150 days, or if they're just going to say, you know what, this ain't even worth it, because even if we appeal this, he ain't going to get out for it. I'm just guessing. Anyway,
was an aggravating factor.
You're just a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime. Your very name has become an adverb for lying.
Yes.
And I cannot
imagine
what could be worse than that.
Can you smell it, brother? Can you smell it?
The court, Smollett's family continuing to proclaim his innocence despite the guilty verdict.
He is a survivor and he has been completely mistreated, and this has to stop.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, Selecta Boy, for sponsoring the show with the great. What is it? Who's on the 10? I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for dropping a 10 in the tip jar, sir. I appreciate you very much. Who says, Jussie Smollet, I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal. Clank, Warden. Hey, shut up there, will you? That's what I think will be going on. That's what I think will be. Oh, shut up in there, will you? That's what I think will be going on while he's in Cook County Jail. Yeah, this is good. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. You know, here's my prediction, though. He is going to pull some bullshit, pretending that, claiming that he's being mistreated in the jail, that he's being beat on or whatever. And guess what's going to happen? You know how in the Jeffrey Epstein case where the cameras just so happened to not work? I got a feeling that in Jussie Smollett's case, they're going to have him in a room where he's on watch because he's used the word suicidal during his sentencing and as he was leaving. And so they're going to have cameras on his cell. And guess what? Those cameras will work and he will get caught lying again. That is my prediction. That is my prediction. All right, finish this up, and then I'm going to take some people on open mic.
And Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot issuing a statement after all this, saying the city feels vindicated.
Yes,
and that false claims like this
interesting.
One will not be tolerated. Guys?
Okay, so Beetlejuice was on board with this, that his sentencing happened the way it did. All right, let me, I know I've been, James, you've been very patient. And so let me bring in James Colley right now. Good morning, Mr. Colley.
Good morning, Mr. P-Dawg.
How you doing, man?
Terrible. How are you, sir?
It's terrible? No. I hope, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't win the lottery. I still got to work.
Oh, gosh.
It's horrible.
Well, you're not in jail, though. You didn't. Yeah. You didn't do what Jussie Smollet did.
Yeah. Well, see, he's got 180 days.
Mm-hmm. 150.
150 days.
I made that mistake. He's got 150 days.
150 days. Surrounded by men who do the thing that he does behind closed doors. I think it's they play chess or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's got 150 days to bone up on his game.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to stop for a second and prepare myself for all the puns because the pun is the lowest form of humor, and yet puns are very effective. I'm just gonna throw a prophylactic over my ears to take care of the puns. Okay, continue, sir.
Well, like I said, he's got to bone up on his game.
Bone up on his game. Yes, he does.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll come out. He'll make a movie for Lifetime.
Oh, don't you think this will be a Lifetime movie? Will they allow him to play himself, though?
Oh, yeah.
Or, I shouldn't say play himself. Play.
Well, they'll find a puppet to play.
Well, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that. All right, let me ask you something, because this is my question. Do you think that too much, too little, too late? Too late. I'm gonna give you the too late because this should have happened in the beginning, but they, friends of the Clintons and Obamas and shit got him out. But what do you think? Do you think the sentence is right? What do you think of the sentence itself?
No, the sentence is way wrong. The sentence should have been the max. Yeah, they hurt him in the pocketbook. But if he's as well off as everyone thinks he is, and he thinks he is, that fine is just a drop in the bucket. Well, restitution is a drop in the bucket.
Right.
And it doesn't even begin to cover the entirety of the court cost or the cost that the police officers had to go through to dispute the stupidity.
Well, the judge did say about that. Here's what he said about that. He didn't have to pay. They calculated the overtime and extra work that they had. So these officers, so he didn't end up paying their regular salaries, but he did end up paying. That restitution included the overtime and resources they used to investigate the case. What it didn't cover, which I'm curious if that's even allowable by law in Illinois, is the actual court costs, because they brought in, because this is a special prosecution, they brought in a different law firm even to prosecute it. It was a private law, in fact, it was a very high cost private law firm in the city of Chicago that actually did the prosecution, not the district attorney's office. And I think that was on the idea that they didn't feel like because they already pulled it from Kim Fox, right? Because she got in trouble a little bit for this, and she recused herself for the grand jury. So they brought in this the private firm, and but they did it pro bono, so there were no costs as far as they were concerned. But still, the court costs and all the other stuff, I don't know how much of that was in there or not, or what's legal.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think that restitution should have been a lot higher.
Well,
hitting with
the restitution has to be actual costs. And then the other part, the maximum penalizing phase, whatever. What do you call it? When you
compensatory.
Not the compensatory. The retribution is the compensatory. The penalty, the penalty, the fine, the actual fine, the maximum fine for that class 4 felony is $25,000. So that's he gave him the maximum. Now, I got a feeling that he spent a shit ton on lawyers though. The judge said that he had never seen a case with so many filings. As far as, I mean, he said the stack of filings that his defense team made, were up on his desk, and it was, hundreds of hours of just going through their filings. They were making all kinds of, and probably a lot of them were superfluous at best, but they were trying to bury the judge in the case in paper. So that is also time that, but the case took over a year. And before they even got to trial. So, yeah, it's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's not enough.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he would get a year in prison. But again, I guess for this guy, obviously, even 150 days in jail obviously shakes him to his core and it just pisses him off. So maybe...
I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, maybe someone in there will teach him to shut the fuck up too. Anyway.
Oh, I got a feeling that he'll have a gag order soon.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah. Good God. God. Are you done?
I am never done.
Oh my God. I'm going to read this. Thank you. There's a super chat here. Thank you, Fight for Our Right. With the 10 from, who says, thanks for the morning stream, P-Dawg. I got a 3-hour drive ahead of me to go do some work in another town. Have a good weekend, my friend. Well, thank you so much, Fight for Our Right, for sponsoring the show. You are a fine and upstanding American. Oh, thank you, D.I. Freighter Watcher, for figuring out the name of the stream. Also, good morning, Teresa the Kid and Tyler F. Who else showed up here? Someone else came in while I was running my mouth.
You know, this is a whole trial thing for Jussie. It's going to be hard to swallow. But he's going to have to buckle down and do the time. Or smorgasbord, whichever he prefers.
Okay, James, we're done. We're done. We're done. You got one.
Okay, that was my last one.
One last word, James.
All right.
I gotta get Rod Corpse on here. One last word.
Well, anywho, hope you have a great weekend. And I'm glad that I could catch you every time with that.
All right. Yes. And I caught every single one of them. Catch them all, as they say. It will be
exactly,
which will probably be Jesse's theme in jail. Anyway, have a great day, James.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Oh God, what?
We'll be closed to play Dark Sonic when he comes out because he'll resemble a porcupine.
Okay, I'm not getting that one. Have a
as
wonderful
many in you as you've had out of you, you look like a porcupine.
Okay, thank you, James.
Have fun.
Have a great day. Now, Rod Corpse, you're on next. Give me just a second here. Oh my God. Okay, real quick. Let me go. I've got a few minutes. So there was also. This is amazing. So they had a little press conference after the sentencing, right? And this is, but during the sentencing hearing, the defense team, and this is from PJ Media, the defense team still claims the convicted liar was attacked by a white male in a mask. Now, this is amazing. So, and I think this is part of the reason that the judge said, you know what, you are definitely going to do some jail time. By the way, Rotten Corpse, you are up next. I'll get you in a second here. Jussie Smollett's sentencing hearing is not, this was when it was still going on, but the defense attorney, Tina Glandian, began by arguing that the case was flawed by flagrant violations that included refiling of charges after the original 16 counts were dismissed. That was already adjudicated in court, and this is, he got convicted of a different charge anyway. After the original 16 counts were dismissed against Smollett by Cook County State Attorney's Office, run by Kim Fox. Fox was personally involved with Smollett and had a relationship with one of his family members that indicated a clear conflict of interest. After this was discovered, Cook County Judge Michael Tuman determined that Fox had mishandled the case and appointed a special prosecutor who refiled the charges after investigating Fox's office. The defense argued that Tuman exceeded his authority, but the investigation found significant wrongdoing by the state's attorney's office. But that's not the point. So the charges were refiled. I'm skipping some of this. And Smollett was found guilty by a jury of his peers in December on 5 felony counts out of the 6 brought against him by the state of Illinois for faking the anti-gay racist hate crime against himself. Oh, I got to put a bell for that because every time we say that. But the defense then accused Judge James Lynn of not asking the proper questions during jury selection. Judge Lynn denied the charge and told the defense that they had submitted stupid questions like, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? As well as inquiries into the potential jury members' favorite superheroes, which he would not entertain. Smollett's lawyer tried to relitigate the facts of the case during the sentencing, dragging out the event for an interminably long time and throwing everything they could, including prosecutorial misconduct accusations, to claiming that, again, that Smollett was attacked. And this is someone who is live tweeting it. Smollett's lawyers are still claiming he was attacked. Are you kidding me? The attorney arguing on behalf of Jussie Smollett just said on the night Jussie was attacked, and they were seriously going on that attack line. So, yeah, it went on forever. This is just during the hearing. And then, and if I'm also going to throw an article here, we're not going to get to because I want to talk to Rotten Corpse. But the Cook County prosecutor, Kim Fox, also had an insane take, and this American Thinker article will be in the links down below. All the links to, well, there's only a few today because I'm not talking about anything else but Jussie, but these links will be in the description down below. I will put them in the description on a single link at the during the outro, and I'll let you know when that's ready, or you can come back and check it out later. So, but you got to read her take. In fact, did they have a video? Maybe they had video of it. They do not. Let's see. So the entire. She took this. Oh, this. Here's what she wrote in the Chicago Sun-Times. I'll read this part. On Thursday, the damaging, costly, and disingenuous criminal prosecution of Jussie Smollett came to an end. As Cook County State's attorney, it pains me deeply to say that, in particular this case, our justice system failed. What? Your mayor is very happy. The mayor of Chicago is happy with this verdict. But let me continue. Sorry, there we go. Given the reputational price Smollett paid, the $10,000 bond we held, and the fact that he's never been accused of a violent crime, my office made the decision not to further pursue a criminal conviction. This story should have ended there, as thousands upon thousands of non-prosecuted cases do every day. Instead, taxpayers have since spent millions of dollars for the criminal prosecution of a hoax. Oh, so she knows it's a hoax. Last year alone, there were over 800 murders in Chicago. My administration has vacated over 177 wrongful convictions, 87 of those in the last 3 years. Rather than work collaboratively to stem rising crime or free the wrongly convicted, a small group of people hijacked the judicial system to enact what is best described as mob justice. Sadly, these tactics are becoming common. Black women elected prosecutors around the country have faced the same mob mentality. In Boston, then District Attorney Rachel Rollins chose not to prosecute 36 people arrested for peacefully protesting a discriminatory charade called the Straight Pride Parade. In an attempt to end around Rollins' prosecutional discretion, a crusading municipal court judge pursued charges anyway and was stopped only by the Massachusetts Supreme Court. In St. Louis, opponents of Circuit Attorney Kim Garner are working to revoke her law license as retribution for her decision to prosecute a former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens, who was accused of taking nude photographs of a woman he had tied up. Charges against Mr. Greitens were eventually dropped. Now, just to be clear, the charges against Greitens were dropped because he was entirely innocent and the victim of a purely political Democratic hit job. The entire article continues in the same vein, turning leftist government bullies into helpless victims while maligning the innocent and whitewashing the guilty. So anyway, you can read the rest of that on your own. Let's get to our friend, Mr. Rotten Corpse. Good morning. How are you?
How are you now?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Oh, not so bad. You know, winding down from working third shift.
Oh, yeah, I know how that is. So, okay, let's get the hot take. We need the hot take from Rotten Corpse.
I'm still confused in how they thought there were white supremacists out in Chicago in the middle of a fucking blizzard. Pardon my language.
You know, one of the things the judge said, he mentioned the fact that this was on one of the coldest nights of the year in Chicago, a polar vortex. He also, there was a part when he's talking about how, because he mentioned kind of the political motivation, supposedly, of the attackers and how unlikely that was. And I don't know if most people caught that. I caught that immediately when he said something about the political motivation and how completely unlikely that was, meaning that some guys were out there waiting for him, ready to yell, "This is MAGA country," you know?
Well, okay, I live in Michigan just like Monkey does, and I've been to Chicago a couple of times. I know how dyed-in-the-wool Democrat they are.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes absolutely no sense. This is MAGA country. Like, were they retarded?
And recognizing him at 2 a.m.
Then they brought up the whole thing. It's like, okay, so you have two white supremacists like, hey, you're that N-word / homo, it's like homophobic slur. who stars in that show Empire. So we have two white supremacists that watch Empire. Like, things are not adding up.
None of it added up. And that's the first day. The first day that I heard, I mean, the day the story came on like Twitter, and they're talking about the story, and I'm reading it and going, okay, that doesn't add up. Okay, that doesn't add up. Okay, that doesn't. What are you talking about? This is like some poorly plot written on Empire. Oh my.
That or some like weird wannabe Scooby-Doo crap.
Right? I was waiting for the like them to take the mask off the the guy, and it was
Old Man Jenkins.
No, it was the judge. They take the mask off, and it's the judge in the case. You and I would have got away with it if it wasn't for, those Olsen Nairo brothers. Unbelievable. So do you think that the sentence itself, does it sound appropriate to you?
That one I'm not so sure. I'd have to look into the laws more.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the filing of a false police report, knowingly filing of a false police report, like he probably should have got more time in jail than the 150 days.
Well, okay, let me go. I'm going to be an advocate here. So, never been convicted of anything. He did have a misdemeanor drunk driving when he was younger. It's in a way, it's a victimless crime. I would imagine that most filing of false police reports could get you probation. I can't imagine that they send everyone who files a false police report to jail. Fines, now for him, the fines probably don't mean as much. Now, if there was some Joe off the street, some cement pouring guy or something like that off the street, and they gave him $120,000 plus another $25,000, that would be a significant burden on someone like that, where it's not so much a burden on him. So I think that might have been the only reason he even got the 150 days, although it would have been justified to give him a year or give him 3 years had he had other prior convictions.
Well, I'm still of the belief if he were some Joe Blow, they'd have probably put some other charges on him. Because, like, okay, my brother did some dumb shit. He ended up breaking some things, setting a couple things on fire because he was one of those guys in his early 20s that he didn't know how to handle his anger. So he just he didn't lash out at people. He just lashed out at objects, and he drank way too much. Well, because of I think he set a car on fire and them changing some law or whatnot, he ended up getting 10 years in prison.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think he actually was in it for like 8. And that was his first offense. I mean, you look at everything else between the two of us, and I was the one they were looking at for this because I got busted for shoplifting when I was much younger, and that was my only offense. Mm-hmm. And that was supposed to be sealed because I was a minor. He was star athlete, star football player, star on the baseball team, decent grade, very popular. They weren't looking at him. They were looking at me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then the police they wrote his statement down. He read his few parts, and then they blamed him for so much other crap that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So that's where it's one of those things. They would have added extra crap in if he
on a first offense.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So that, and here's where I'm going with that. This is also the privilege that they like to talk about privilege all the time. They like to talk about white privilege, but I'd say that I would talk this is, you could put this up to class privilege. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that there's after all the Black Lives Matter stuff going on, and there's certainly, I don't know if I'd call it privilege, but there certainly is a leniency that he and his $1 million legal team and letters from Jesse Jackson and the head of the local NAACP puts pressure on that judge, mm-hmm. that your brother is never going to get. And did you have a defense lawyer? Or did you have a appointed defense lawyer? Did you have your own?
God, that was so long ago. I can't really remember because I was 14, I think, at the time. I'm 35 now.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
one of
if
those
you had a
things that
court-appointed attorney versus his $1 million legal team, where you had, they wanted to have seats for 45 people in the courtroom for his legal team.
Yeah.
And then the judge like, fuck out of here, So, but yeah, so no, but in this case, and in your brother's case, they probably shouldn't have got 10 years. But obviously there was, in your brother's case, he did physical damage to people's property, right?
Oh, yes. There was still things he was definitely guilty of, and he should have been tried for that.
Right.
Which would have been acceptable. And this whole thing, I think what the bigger issue was is just the fact that if you want to look at it, you could say that Jussie Smollett caused an uproar across the nation, considering the fact that I'm pretty sure there were protests. There were probably some people who got violent. And in all reality, he's not directly responsible. It's that whole he's indirectly responsible. So you can't try him for that.
Right.
Because he didn't tell anyone to do it.
That was the other thing the judge said, that, you're stirring up, very, very raw emotions during a time where raw emotions can get people hurt. And, that's the fact that part of it too is that the judge said, you've been involved in these social justice issues, right? For your entire life, your entire family is a family of activists and people who, you have your African-American mother and your Jewish father, and you've dealt with all these things, and then you go and do a fake one, and that you are out there, you and then you lie about it in court. You of all people should know better the trauma that people who actually are victims of these crimes could have, and that they, it's a devastating thing that happened to people, and you faking it makes their case less believable. Every time he said you have become synonymous with lying. You pulled a Jussie, you pulled a Smollett, and and you make other people's real crimes that happen to them less viable and police less likely to want to investigate them.
It's the same thing that happens with the false reporting of like sexual assaults. You make the person less credible, or the actual ones that happen, and you're not helping things actually go further. You're quite literally I'm going to put it this way, what I think is he set blacks and gays back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He does. Anyone, and it's unfortunately because so many of the hate crimes that make news, so many of them turn out to be false. It's getting to a point where you immediately you're likely to disregard something rather than actually take it seriously. And so, someone who's an actual victim, you hurt actual victims of crimes. And I don't really believe in the whole hate crime thing. I mean, I understand there's hate crimes motivated by hate, but I don't buy that that's actually a legal thing. A crime is going to be a crime, and someone's mindset doesn't necessarily make it worse. But for people who see it that way, you're just making their lives worse. Real quick, we have a sponsor. I didn't realize I had a sponsor sitting here, and it is Funky Friday, so let's get some sponsor music. Let me read this one real quick. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, for sponsoring the show. And actually, this sponsor will do. Let's do a little. Let's do this. Oop. Today's sponsor is. This is CNN. CNN would like to announce our new show, Only Facts, will be hosted by Michael Avenatti and Jussie Smollet live from their cells. They will interview politicians, cellmates, and cellmates politicians. No lies here, only facts. All right, thank you, Tyre Alexander. Fantastic ad. He has a knack for writing ads. So anyway, all right. Any last words? I'm gonna wrap it up here, but anything you want to add there?
No. Hope you all have a great weekend. Depending on where you live, the weather sucks. We got snow back in Michigan again. I'm kind of irritated about that. I want it to go away. Hey, man, I spent 3 years in Okinawa. I'm still not fully back to knowing these winters yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And you know, it's March, right? It's March.
Yeah.
Hello, weather. It's March. I live in Minnesota, so I understand I understand your pain. It's March. It's supposed to be getting warm. My pool's supposed to thaw because we have to do a bunch of work on our pool deck this year. And I'm like, I can't do it until the snow melts. And I want to do it now before my son's a party that we're going to have for him. But anyway, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. We should do this again. I appreciate you coming on. And
I try.
Okay, cool. It was great. So thank you very much, and you have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to
You as well, sir.
I'm going to be on the ice this weekend for the second time. For the second time in my 30 years in Minnesota. So that'll be interesting. All right. Thank you very much. You have a great day, man.
I'm gonna jump off later.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you so much for our guests today, James Colley and Ron Corpse, who jumped on the open mic. I appreciate you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time because my weekend's got to start. And hey, we might, oh no, we're not going to do a Trail Stop stream tomorrow. We might do one on Sunday. Who knows? But anyway, their new show is Dispatches from the Cell Block. Very good. Very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern. If you haven't hit the like button, do it now before you go, because I know you're thinking of clicking. And if you click before I go, then you don't hear the outro. And also, I will put the news links for these few articles that I have for today in the whatchamacallit, the description down below. So that'll be there. Also, let's see. Do I have anything else? That's it. If you're watching a replay, put a comment in the comment section. Thanks for our sponsors today. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do it 24 hours a day at PDawgKnight.live or Cashapp, Venmo. That information in the description down below. During the show, super chats and donation chats through Streamlabs and or YouTube super chats are during the show, and I'll read whatever you write. And what did I miss? Share the stream before, during, and after. That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I got to go. Thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you next week. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. See ya. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.